Guardian, you've got an incoming call.
Before the Giver was found to exiles, the long drift eroded our spirit of eons. Our catch was poisoned by ether hunger and treachery. But just when exiles were near our house, death, the Giver's gravity reach led us to its dark matter. And inside, discovery of the voice invisible. Words of mind alone. The power to speak as one. And in Giver's reach, we also found Ionians. From many lives, we shared discovery. The ways of dark matter open to all. Integration and ether life for our house. Then came the Deathless Warriors. From beyond the Giver's orbit. Strong, impressive, with power beyond stars. The exiles share no hatred with you. We want only the gifts of the Giver. But if the Deathless steal dark matter from our house, they will be met with blades. All will perish who take what is freely given.
Lodi, it appears your lead checks out. Here's our prime servitor, and the energy signature coming off of it matches the singularity.
It's definitely holding the Strangelet capsule we're looking for.
I told you my intel was reliable. Now, you take out the servitor, and I'll get the Archon to talk.
Flock of smaller servitors buzzing around. Damn, they're everywhere.
They're like watchdogs. We'll have to clear them out to get to the Prime.
That servitor tripped some kind of magnetic lockdown.
It's cut off from the generator. Shield down.
Can your flesh withstand a dissection atomic? Visions of your scattering come to be.
I'm picking up more servitors flooding in. We'll need to take them out.
I know you're listening, Levast. I know your people are too. They're watching the Deathless shed light on your lies, doubting you.
Our catch takes flight. Our drills tipped with the Giver's power. Into the singularity we ascend!
shield generators vulnerable.
smite as it tears through their false heart and flimsy will.
There it is. Your plan. A full-scale push into the Singularity, and those rumors of using a powered-up catch were right on the money. Lo hice. Thank you for your cooperation.
Looks like there's a crawl space under the floor.
We'll find a way through.
at your back. You rape what is not yours and break what others build. See what they take from us, my family. My house, stand with your Archon against the deathless blight. Protect the giver. Protect your holy servitor.
Lodi, it appears your lead checks out. Here's our prime servitor, and the energy signature coming off of it matches the singularity.
It's definitely holding the straight-lit capsule we're looking for.
I told you my intel was reliable. Now, you take out the servitor, and I'll get the Archon to talk.
Flock of smaller servitors buzzing around. Damn, they're everywhere.
They're like watchdogs. We'll have to clear them out to get to the Prime.
That servitor tripped some kind of magnetic lockdown.
It's cut off from the generator. Shield down.
Can your flesh withstand a dissection, Atomic? Visions of your scattering come to be.
More servitors flooding in. We'll need to take them out.
I know you're listening, Lavask. I know your people are too. They're watching the Deathless shed light on your lives, doubting you.
Our catch takes flight. Our drills tipped with the Giver's power. Into the singularity we ascend!
Another shield generator's vulnerable.
That's another shield down.
As it tears through their false heart and flimsy will.
There it is. Your plan. A full-scale push into the singularity, and those rumors of using a powered-up catch were right on the money. Lo hice. Thank you for your cooperation.
Next generator's tight. Looks like there's a crawl space under the floor.
We'll find a way through.
Storm with cloud liars at your back. You rape what is not yours and break what others build. See what they take from us, my family. My house, stand with your Archon against the deathless blight. Protect the giver. Protect your holy servitor.
It's over, Lavask. Your Prime Servitor is lost, and we have its Strangelet capsule.
I reject this. We reject this. A defeat here was always a possibility, Met. Just one of the many paths to the grand design. I am victorious. Exiles victorious. We are fated to conquer the deathless. Defeat looms for those who reject the giver's embrace. You will see, as I have seen. Exiled children of Lavask, the giver's arms await us. We will bore into the timeless space and ascend.
Timeless space? They want to go into the black hole. Make it big enough so they can all go through? That's ascension?
Look at this coward, running off every line he can think of. We might have broken him.
But you picked that up. They're gearing up to try to harvest a member of the Nine. I have no earthly idea how, but it can't be good.
You dismantled that con like a pro, kid. Got him spilling everything, just to save face. Nice work.
Thanks for the assist.
One Prime Servitor down, one capsule in the Guardian's hands.
And one Strangelet to help stabilize Kepler. We're not out of the woods yet, but every bit helps to stop that singularity from growing. Orin's informed me the Ionians need our assistance again.
Get that back to the Caldera, hero. Keep me in the loop if we gotta move. I don't think we've seen the last of our boy Lavask.
Speaking of being in the loop, Mr. Drifter, Orin had mentioned you two used to know each other.
There was a time when that had been a line, and you'd be crossing it. But that was a long time ago. Yeah, we knew each other.
Lodi, as the Guardian tracks down more Strangelets, we're wanting to better understand the presence of dark matter on Kepler. Do you have an Ionian contact we could speak with?
Sure do. Dr. Carnahan's gonna be your gal. She's, she's a bit of a recluse, doing a bunch of research out here in the sticks. She was one of the first Ionians I met when I landed here. I say met. She did point some kind of thingamajig at my head. Not a gun, mind you, more like a Swiss Army medieval gauntlet.
Another lost enclave of humanity. It's incredible. After Neptune, I thought for sure there could be no more. I am rarely so glad to be wrong. We must establish ties with them. Do whatever you can, Guardian. But there is the problem of communication. Relying on Lodi troubles me, as helpful as he is. It would be better to be able to speak to them directly. Even one layer of translation can lose meaning, nuance. No need to mistrust him on my account.
How do you... There! Oh, Guardian! The Ionians were a huge help when I first arrived. I was disoriented. They helped me keep my feet on the ground.
We must learn more. Investigate, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you to be polite.
The Ionians are a society of scientists. I guess that's what happens when researchers end up on the outskirts of everything and stay there forever. Anyone you chat with will probably send you to the Dean. She nearly had a heart attack when I arrived. Called me anomaly blessed. They call you that too. Their language is tonal, but really distinct. It's like someone put Basque and a theremin in a blender and let it run over a few centuries. Man, humans are amazing. Guardian, you've met Dean Rebecca. She's my rescuer, your host. She wants our help studying the Vex, and I've only been able to get so far.
I'm not surprised. They're hostile on a good day.
They didn't seem to mind me getting close.
It's odd they didn't shoot you on sight.
The Dean would appreciate help bringing the activated Vex samples to Professor Violak.
Guardian, you've got an incoming call.
I have a favor to ask you, Guardian. It's about Lodi. Right now we have to rely on him, to translate, to guide. But it's too convenient. We find a perfectly suitable ally who just happened to arrive here a little before we did. The Ionians have been isolated. I wouldn't expect them to know about Guardians or the Traveler, for instance. But Lodi seemed taken aback to see Exo and Awoken in shared files. Even the Neomuni, sheltered though they were, had those baselines. Where did he come from? Something about him is stranger, even than present circumstances suggest. Earn his trust, Guardian. Perhaps he'll be more forthcoming with you. The language will have to come with time. But the things they know. If I could just understand now, one step at a time. I've been able to initiate dialogues here and there with the Ionians, not much. But better than nothing. They are patient. I suppose they would have to be. One of them repeated the same thing for me, 20 times at least. I couldn't quite understand something about the holy anomaly. And Lodi, maybe. I'll have to try again. Kepler is two things at once. Suspiciously serendipitous, and deliberately challenging. It's like we were invited to a dinner and sat at our assigned seats without looking at the place cards. Someone wanted us all to meet. So where's the host?
That's from a Golden Age game called chess. I found a few pieces myself on Earth. It's a sure sign the Nine got their eyes on you. I used to think they were telling us to be strategic, think it through, play the long game. But now, I think it's a reminder that we're just placeholders, stored in a little box they call time, until they're all burned out. Like Orin. Maybe that's just my guilty conscience talking. Go out there and prove me wrong, hero. I'm begging you.
Sounds like there are more pieces to collect in the Accord.
I'd sure like to know what they all mean. Wouldn't you? Do it to it, hero.
Así que, allá se cuide. Era fabrica para ir su culpa. Y a fatiga que le ha fortuna. Pasante ya, porque ya, tanto que han patinte. Yo soy mea, fatiga ya, porque ya, bomba.
Last time I found one of these pieces, I was having a hard time. Fixing to bug out of this orbit for good. And then what stopped me? Convinced me there was something left for me here after all. Figured they were secret clues to my place in the Nine's grand plan. Turns out, they were Ionian messages that never made it home. I'd just been collecting undelivered mail this whole time. Even if they weren't meant for me, there's no doubt in my mind I was meant to deliver them. I'm glad they finally made it back home, where they belong. Just like me.
I've been standing under the stars thinking about orbits. How sometimes the pull of gravity between bodies is symbiotic, and other times disastrous. You can destroy an entire solar system by placing one aberrant mass into the balance, skewing the gravity of a closed system. I'm beginning to worry Lodi might be such an aberration. I didn't have a solid theory until we realized the Vex were involved here. Maya's collective seems to be looking for the same things Lodi is. If their motives are aligned, other things could be too. I want you on this. Find out what the Vex are researching. And take note of how Lodi reacts. If their orbits intersect, make sure we know how. This stays between us. You know I've carried my suspicions around our arrival here, around Lodi.
I don't know, Ikora. I can see how his tendency to be vague is suspicious, but he seems to genuinely want to help.
Recently, Ophiuchus uncovered that he's been sending encoded transmissions using Vex arrays, but we don't know to whom.
Oh.
He's exchanging information and pretending to be a lone agent. At the very least, he's sending out information and lying about it. I found the locations of the arrays. I'm forwarding them to you. Scrape their data and send it back.
Understood.
got an incoming call.
Lodi here. Hope it's not a bad time, Guardian. Miss Ray isn't answering my calls. I don't know how I managed it, but I may have offended her. She asked me plenty of questions about the Vex right before, too. I guess she didn't like my answers. There's something new about the Vex I thought you and she should know. The Vex have been taking passive readings off the Singularity as long as I've been watching them. Now they're pinging it hard. Trying for a reaction. I keep getting this awful buzz interfering with my comm line. That's all I know. And please, when you get the chance, give Miss Ray my warmest regards. I hate to lose her esteem.
I can't figure you out, Lodi. Every logical part of me says your story isn't believable. That all signs point to you being a Vex simulation. And at the same time, something in my gut says I can trust you.
You can feel about me however you like. But I've got your back, Miss Ray. Always have.
Seeing a spike of exile activity. Is this doctor safe on her own?
It's true the Ionians are a peaceful bunch, but fieldwork requires metal. I'm sure Gauntlet did much more than look sharp. Speaking of, I'm at a research outpost. She's not here. Which wouldn't normally be worrisome, but the place is completely ransacked. No sign of her assistant either. He's usually... Oh. Damn.
Lodi?
Take care of those exiles. Let me call you back. question, Miss Ray. I'm not really sure how to describe what I'm looking at. A person. I think it's a mess. Someone was killed. I'm not sure who. There isn't enough left to tell. I need to look around.
Do you need backup?
No. Patrol the area. Cold-blooded murder isn't usually the House of Exiles' MO, but I have a hard time believing the Vex would be this brutal.
Ikora, Lodi, we've got another group of exiles. Though nothing seems out of the ordinary apart from, well, the normal exile abnormality.
I've got some semblance of a trail leading out of here. Take care of those guys. I'll touch base when I've got a lead. Guardian, I've located Dr. Carnahan. She's safe, but she's shaken. Understandably.
If she's safe. And what you saw at the outpost.
Yeah. Her assistant, Reese. Budding linguist. He didn't deserve this.
يا حلقان يسمي أدية أسوي يسمي يسن ياموني على تكيا Ai Urias, excellence kinsi, uyakaponi. Arotikia, Urias kunyaruya. Rakinde uya. Bye.
Dr. Carnahan asked us to find a piece of technology that the House of Exiles stole when her assistant was murdered.
Guardian, there's something here you need to get, closer to the Singularity. I'm sending you some coordinates. Do these make any sense to you?
I take it these are from the Nine.
I have to assume so, unless the guys at Langley programmed me a trigger phrase before I left.